Ladies and gentlemen, intolerance, 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 that is the war cry of the lobby. They use this term to brand India, to target the right wing, and to defame anyone who did not fit in their mold of quote-unquote left liberalism. Viewers, for the longest time, those claiming to be torchbearers of democracy have actually enabled attacks on it. Those who have claimed to be for free speech have actually worked to actively black out counter-opinion. Those who pretend to be for intellectual discourse are the ones who are elbowing out the right intelligentsia. And those who claim to be for the backward classes are outraged when the subalterns speak. Tonight, the motion of the debate is not complex. It's simple. Who is really intolerant? The left libs or the right wing? Is it intolerance to praise, or is it tolerance to praise terrorists in the valley but to run down films like Kashmir Files? Is it tolerance to support Tukre Tukre slogans but block a Dalit scholar from speaking simply because he is from the BJP? Is it tolerance to talk about democracy being in danger and simultaneously actively run down the mandate of the people of the country in the world's largest democracy? It is time to confront those who don the veil of tolerance. This is Arnab Live. It is the intolerance debate. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 1 week, we have been seeing the pattern of established intolerance, toxic intolerance, from the blocking of a professor from the LSR College in Delhi University just because he's a part of the BJP, to the outrage of a film like the Delhi Files following the Kashmir Files, to the dual standards on the ban on the PFI, to the silence of the lobby over what has happened on the attacks on Ram Navami processions. And now it is time to really ask, who in this country are really toxic? Who in this country believe in the cancel culture? Who in this country is truly, truly intolerant? Let's debate.
Intolerance, intolerance, intolerance. The term has been used to brandish the right wing in the country for too long. But who is really intolerant?
Most importantly, and you pointed out that this is intolerance of highest level. Asahishnutta ki parakashta hai. We cannot see any other incident of intolerance. So the people who have been complaining of intolerance, they are showing intolerance. They are showing intolerance on a day when we are commemorating Baba Sahib Ambedkar.
Who's really intolerant to democratic means of operations when they resort to blockades at whim? Who has consistently tried to oust the right-wing intelligence from academic discourse? Those who want freedom of speech get quizzy about certain movies.
Agnihotri is earning money and Bharatiya Janata Party is supporting him. He will make films on communal rights. In last 70 years, thousands communal rights had happened in this country. He should make film on every communal right. And he's spreading poison among the people. It is unfortunate.
Fact is, there is a circuit of so-called activists, intellectuals, lawyers and NGOs that are nothing but stone-cold hypocrites. The truth about the inclusivity of the lobby inconveniences them.
साथियों, देश आज जिस ऊंचाई पर है, वहां तक उसे पहुंचाने में स्वतंत्र भारत के बाद बनी प्रत्येक सरकार का योगदान है.
कोई हिंदू वर्चस्व की बात नहीं कर सकता, कोई मुस्लिम वर्चस्व की बात नहीं कर सकता. भारत वर्चस्व की बात सबको करनी चाहिए. नाम का, शब्दों का झगड़ा छोड़ो, भावना समझो. उसके आधार पर इस देश को विश्वगुरु बनाना ये दुनिया की आवश्यकता है, नहीं तो दुनिया नहीं बचेगी.
Those who say dismantle Hindutva, those who go silent on massacres in Birbhum, they cannot be considered bastions of tolerance. This Arnab Live, it is time to ask, who is really tolerant? Let's debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, with me, a fantastic panel this weekend. Let me introduce Tuhin Sinha of the BJP on who is truly intolerant, the irrepressible Mohandas Pai. You know, fantastic investor and a very outspoken person. M.R. Venkatesh, political analyst and lawyer. Savio Rodriguez. We thought we lost him to politics, and he's very much there in journalism as well. Chief editor of the Goa Chronicle and now with the BJP. Vishnu Shankar Jain, who's a well-known lawyer in Delhi. Professor Monojit Mandal, supports the Trinamool view even when they are wrong. Abhisheks Sudhir supported the Samajwadi Party to his credit before and after the election results. Royden Roach always is against the BJP. Mohammad Fayaz Hashmi is a well-known Islamic scholar. And Atiku Rahman is a great person, an Islamic scholar whose only failing is that he continues to be an ardent supporter of Zakir Naik, ladies and gentlemen. So, who's really intolerant? Mohandas Pai, I want you to start the debate in a country. In a country, Mohandas Pai, where a national spokesperson of the ruling party is not allowed to speak at a Zoom event of a Delhi University college just because he has the cardinal sin carried on his head of being a national spokesman of the BJP. Who is truly intolerant? Who believes in the cancel culture? Mohandas Pai.
Arnab, I believe that the left, and wherever the left has a hold on the campuses, they follow this intolerant culture of shutting out people. They believe that their view is the only view and nobody else should counter them, nobody else to speak against them. We've seen them in JNU, we've seen them in the Lutyens media, we've seen them in Lutyens Delhi, and all people who follow this, like the Aligarh Muslim University, the Jamia Millia, possibly the University of Hyderabad, and colleges in Delhi like the LSR. This is very shocking because all these people claim to be liberals. And if you are liberal, you should associate with multiple viewpoints and multiple issues and leave it to the viewer to decide what they want to think. For example, in the JNU, there was a professor who kept saying that India is an illegal occupation of Kashmir. Now, that's fine for a professor to say something, but you must get people with opposing views to come and debate. When General Bakshi came there, they shut him out. They tried to shut him out. They tried to shut out many other people. And I think that is real intolerance, because this is fascism at work, this is a totalitarian doctrine at work, and this is what they do to young people.
Yeah.
So these are the intolerant people in this country, masquerading as liberals, and I think we should call them as fascists and totalitarian thinkers, and not as liberals, because liberals will make sure that there are multiple viewpoints, and you leave it to you to decide.
Yeah, you know, these are people who believe in the purge. These are people who are fascist. They are toxic. They believe in this Stalinist view that anyone who disagrees with them must be eliminated. And that's the view. That's the worldview, Monojit Mandal, Abhisheks Sudhir. These are people, in fact, these are people who are anti-democracy. They hate democracy because they feel like the rejects of democracy, Abhisheks Sudhir. And they cannot win elections, and therefore they want to bulldoze an agenda. They said the farmers of this country are against the farm bill. A Supreme Court panel found that 86% of the farmers backed the 3 farm laws. So they are anti-democracy. They're anti the will of the people. They only believe in blocking roads, highways, blackmailing people, threatening people, boycotting people, attacking people. But I think this intolerance to democratic ideas will not be allowed. Abhishek Sudhir, open the debate on the other side, please.
See, I just want to talk about what happened with Guru Paswan. Now, who actually invited Guru Paswan? It was a member of the SC/ST cell of Lady Shri Ram College who invited Guru Paswan. I, unfortunately, am very much against, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, I leave that up to you, but I'm against censorship, right, in all forms. Right? I am against censorship. Guru Paswan should have been allowed to speak. I think it was the secretary of the SFI there on campus, I think a girl named Prachi. I mean, you can't You know, there's a 20-year-old who says Guru Paswan should not be invited. He is ergo disinvited. So you can't paint everybody who disagrees with the BJP with the same brush. I am saying that Guru Paswan should be allowed to speak. Only when the BJP and their supporters are allowed to speak will the moral bankruptcy of their ideas stand exposed. Unfortunately for the right, the Hindu right today, they don't have any universities that are favorable to their view. JNU, LSR, Miranda House, all these colleges are liberal bastions. So the right has to fight for their right to speak.
Fight.
They
How?
have to
Physically?
set up your own universities.
Physically?
Or maybe you can convert the young people to your way of thinking.
Oh.
The young and the youth of this country don't buy into your right-wing ideology. Ergo, they oppose you, they oppose Guru Paswan. Now, should they oppose you? Absolutely. Should they silence you? Absolutely not. You should be allowed to speak. Only then will your moral bankruptcy and your intellectual failings stand exposed.
I mean,
Just like you have exposed yourself right now by speaking for last 2 minutes uninterrupted, and that's how you got exposed.
Okay.
Now let me tell you that the youth and the right wing is growing. It was a forced clamp on the right wing voices that was there in the academia, that was in the JNU, the Madras University, the Jadavpur University, Aligarh Muslim University, you name them. You didn't have the contrarian view ever even discussed.
Everyone.
You had people. And Arnab, the media in Delhi, the Latins media as you and I call, are so paranoid.
Yeah.
Just because you wrote a foreword to my book has not been discussed by the media, and they have told me openly that had it been for
don't believe
anybody
me.
else, you would have
I
discussed
can't
it.
believe that. You're saying that because I wrote a foreword to your fantastic book.
Yes.
You're saying you
Yes,
were
Arnab.
cancelled out. You were boycotted. You
Yes,
were
sir, no, I didn't
boycotted.
want to bring this.
You hear that, Mohandas Pai?
Nobody wants to read
You
your
hear
story.
that, Mohandas Pai? Can you believe it?
Anna, would you please define?
Arnab, that is happening
It's crazy.
in Delhi. Arnab, that is a normal behavior for all these people. They are totalitarian, they are fascist. They don't have good arguments on the side, so they shut out others. And when somebody has good knowledge and argument, they don't allow them to speak because they know they will be exposed.
Everyone.
They are the creators of fake narratives in this country. They are the creator. For example, just now, a environmentalist, a person claiming to be an environmentalist from Bangalore, tweeted about Sadhguru and says Sadhguru has usurped Adivasi land and usurped, forest land and made that allegation. I tweeted back and said, you'll be subject to defamation suits legally. Please prove yourself. They make these fake narratives and Lutyens Delhi covers them up. They create this kind of sympathy waves and they have to be exposed.
Defamation
They
is the
don't
very
have the courage of
antithesis of free
conviction.
speech
They
and
don't have
expression,
good
sir.
ideas and they don't want others to expose them.
No, is
and
there
that's
a-
why they do it.
Is there
And, you can
somewhere?
see it on
Do you think there
TV
is somewhere?
interviews too.
When I listen to you, and by the way, I must say, I wrote the foreword to your book out of admiration for your work and your scholarship, and I'm appalled at what you've just said. But I'm thinking, Monojit, is it because this lobby, these left libs, have a intellectual inferiority complex? The thing could be because they have believed that the domain of intelligentsia was theirs to hold and harbor. They believe that
Correct.
the intellectual space has right-thinking individuals who challenge their narrative with facts, rationality, and intellect. I mean, a person like Mohandas Pai or M.R. Venkatesh can challenge you with facts, rationality, intellect, experience, professional experience, domain experience, and various other things. And these pseudos on the other side, who are intolerant in a toxic way, Monojit, is it because they have an inferiority complex? Is there somewhere deep within an inferiority complex, a feeling of rejection? Do you see, I have been rejected politically, nobody in the country likes me, I am in a corner, and therefore they are reacting with such violence.
Anna, would you please define what is the tolerance and intolerance for me? Please define.
Bengali.
Shubho Navabarsho to you
Bengali
also.
New Year.
Yes.
Let me greet all of you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's coming to your point, Arnab. It's not just the left fascist mentality in this country that is prevailing. I think equally alarming is the right-wing fascist mentality also.
Okay.
And I would believe what the BJP is getting now is because what they are giving. Let me give an example. Who cancelled Mamtadi's lecture in St. Stephen's College? Who cancelled Mamtadi from going to Vatican? It is Ministry of External Affairs. So when BJP is talking about banning their lectures,
Which
despite
college
the
did
fact
you
that it is
refer
wrong.
to? You said
Yesterday
St.
also
Stephen's, okay.
I said
You
that
said St.
whatever
Stephen's.
happened in Lady Shri Ram College was wrong.
No, you
But
said St.
BJP
Stephen's College.
cannot
One minute.
take the moral high ground.
Just a
Why
minute.
they are ruthlessly murdering freedom of
No, Mamta
What
Banerjee, you
BJP
said was not allowed to go to St.
Now,
Stephen's College.
why you are
First of all,
cutting
on a
my
lighter
voice
note, we
now?
always called it a school.
Why you are cutting my
when we
voice
were in
now? You
college,
are talking about freedom
but
of
that's an
expression.
autonomous
We
institution.
are debating
The BJP
freedom of
doesn't control
expression,
it.
but at least you are cutting my voice.
I'm not. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you the
are
BJP
cutting
does
my
not
voice.
control
Let me
St.
speak. We are
Stephen's.
debating freedom of expression right
You
now.
have.
My co-panelists are talking about with their political.
But who cancelled Mamta from
point
going
of
to
view.
Vatican?
But I want to know,
Mamta
please
was not
define-
given permission by Minister of External Affairs to go to Vatican. Why? Why? I'd like to know. She's
Savio.
elected Chief Minister of his state.
Savio and Tuhin on the left,
and
please.
I
yeah.
tell you, what you did
She
with
was
the
asked to spell
journalist in
out her
Madhya
motives. She
Pradesh,
could not spell
what
out
you
her
did with
motives.
Gauri Lanket, what you did with Sudhinda Kulkarni few years back. So BJP cannot take the moral high ground on the issue of freedom of expression. If the left party is guilty,
Arnab, let
if
me
these pseudo-liberals
share
are
with you an
guilty,
example.
equally guilty are the BJP, who are, I believe,
Can I?
direct narrative of fascist mentality.
Okay, we have two responses. Tuhin and Savio both want to
one
come in.
second.
Mr. Hashmi, just 1 minute. I know
Arnab,
you want to come
1
in. I'm
minute.
just giving everybody their turn. Who goes first, Tuhin or Savio?
Arnab, let me give you an example.
Okay, Savio goes first.
let me
Tuhin.
give you an
Fastest
example,
finger
Arnab.
first on my program. Yeah.
Please,
Wait
please
one
listen,
second.
sir, please listen. That
Okay,
question-
Fayaz
yeah,
Hashmi comes in.
I
Fayaz
am
Hashmi,
to-
please speak.
Let me give you an
Please
example
speak,
of
please
my
speak.
life
No,
itself.
Savio. Let Fayaz Hashmi speak, otherwise he'll
Let me
accuse
give
us
you
of
an example
intolerance.
of
Please
my
define.
life.
No,
please
let him
define-
speak, otherwise he'll accuse us of intolerance.
I want you and my co-panelist.
Yes.
Yeah, what is the tolerance and what is the intolerance? The problem is this: from the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha to the streets of India, everybody is trying to be tolerant and expecting other party to be tolerant. They are exposing that they are tolerant, even they are intolerant, and they are expecting the other parties to be tolerant. I am not talking about the political parties and political scenario. I am talking about the common man. What the scenario is being generated in India.
Okay, I heard you, Mr.
Everybody
Hashmi.
is trying to
Mr.
force
Hashmi, got your
their
point. I don't think there should be any confusion on what is tolerance and intolerance. I'll give you an example of intolerance. You know, when Vikram Sampath, there are attempts to discredit him and target him and troll him because he wrote a biography on Savarkar. You hate Savarkar and you hate anyone who writes anything about Savarkar. This is absolutely incredible levels of intolerance. Do we need one more example? Rashmi Samant, who was targeted in Oxford University Students' Union, where she was democratically elected a president, to call her racist, homophobic, insensitive. That is intolerant. When you're targeting a lady in her early 20s, a college student, that is intolerant. You want some more examples of intolerance? The way in which the Ram Bhakts were targeted in JNU campus, that is intolerance.
No.
That is intolerance. You want more examples? You want more examples, or should I hand it over to Tuhin? Tuhin is on the debate. Tuhin is on the debate. Tuhin.
Let me say this over here that I had a comprehensive Wikipedia page from 2006 onwards after I brought out my first book. But the moment, in all these 16 years, nothing happened to it. But the moment I gave 2 sound bites on Kashmir files, it was hacked, and now it is completely, jettisoned. So I'm sure many of these trolls who operate from foreign lands, are behind this. But let me tell you, today, intolerance is an industry. It is the hub and the domain of almost all anti-BJP parties and mindsets, and it plays out at many levels. But you know why it is becoming so apparent today? 6 or 7 years ago, some of these campuses used to echo with slogans of "Afzal hum sharminda hai, tere qatil zinda hai." Today, the same campuses are echoing with slogans of Bharat Mata ki Jai and Jai Shri Ram. This is what the other side, the left parties, are unable to fathom. All they could produce in the name of a student leader was a failure who could not complete his post-graduation in a good 10 to 12 years, Kanhaiya. Today, they can't come to terms with the fact that the BJP can produce progressive Dalit voices like Guru Prakash Paswan.
Correct.
This is the crux of the problem. But that is one part of it. There is a political...
Can you name one more progressive Dalit voice?
Let me please complete. Abhinav Prakash.
Can you
I can
name one
many,
more
but let me
progressive
complete.
Dalit
I'm
voice
making a
other than
very
Guru
important
Paswan?
point. Arnab, this intolerance
Go
is
ahead, go ahead.
encouraged politically.
Go ahead, tell me.
Yeah.
Keep naming them.
I'm not here to answer you.
Keep
Let
naming.
me complete my. I'm making an
Keep
important
naming,
point.
come on.
Please don't barge
No,
in like
keep
this.
naming.
Behave yourself.
Keep
Arnab,
naming.
this
You know, what you'll
intolerance
do is you'll give Dalits and OBCs total
to try and let's not can I hear the argument? He's presenting himself fantastically. No, listen, Abhishek, can I tell you not to I know that you also harbor a cancel culture in your mind, and I know you're getting disturbed.
Absolutely.
You're getting disturbed listening to Tuhin, who very politely, a reflection of his democratic spirit, kept absolutely quiet when you made your introductory comments. But the problem you have, one second, the problem you have, Abhishek, the problem you have is you cannot even hear the other side. Your ears begin to burn. Your mouth begins to froth.
I'm glad you're exposing these people.
Your heart rate begins to rise the moment you hear anyone with another point of view. Why?
On and on.
Let me just
Why so much intolerance? Rene do na, let him listen to the other side. What are you?
Can I ask you, why do you all cry so much?
Arnab, the
Why do you all
intolerance, just
cry
30
so
seconds.
much? What
Just
is
30
this
seconds
victim
before I
mentality,
complete.
victimhood?
He's not crying. He's making a point. And please don't get into.
Y'all are
This
in
is the
power,
problem
man.
with these people. This is the
Y'all are in
problem with these
power.
people. They can't make a point. तू मैं वाली debate नहीं है ये. आप समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. बड़ी बातें नहीं समझ में आती तो कम से कम 30 सेकंड रुक जाइए. सब पूरा कर लेने
You are
दीजिए
in
बात.
power. Enjoy the fruits of power.
Arnab, let's not get into this inanity that can.
The young of this country will always reject you fascists.
Arnab, this intolerance
The young
in
of
the
this country will always
campuses
reject
is
you
not.
fascists.
This intolerance in the campuses is not unrelated with the larger political intolerance that we see. And I'll just give you two examples. On the eve of Uttarakhand elections, a guy called Maulana Taqir had invoked his community on the path of jihad. What happened immediately 2 days after that? The Congress embraced him. This is the kind of intolerance which is prevalent in the country today. And what is happening in the campus is only an extension of the political intolerance which
And
the
what about
Congress
Yati
and left parties have
Narasimhanan?
patronized today. A sitting MLA from Telangana had called for beheading of Jitendra Tyagi.
What about what
after he
happened in
converted to
Haridwar,
Hindu.
the hate Congress?
What happened to the Congress MLA?
I'd say this. 1 minute. I'll give. Can I come in on that?
What's happening
No.
in
1 minute. 1
Karnataka?
minute. You have one second. Good point.
What's happening in Karnataka?
Good point. Can I answer your question, please? Can I attempt to answer? Just because of my nationalistic views, all you people have called me a right-winger also for a long time. So I say, if being a nationalist makes you a right-winger, then I'm proud to be a right-winger. I'm clear about it.
become a right-winger,
I have said
just
it at a
embrace
public
it.
forum. But you can't destroy me. You can't destroy my network. You tried to do that. When Pakistan cheered on, when Parambir Singh harassed Republic Network, all you people were cheering on. You remember that? They were cheering with Pakistan. Did I ask you questions then?
Yes.
You lost, Pakistan lost, we thrived. Answer to the question here, please. Example B. Example. I want to give an example. No, I want to give an example. I'm glad if you did not. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's not about me. My question here is this.
We condemn that on your channel itself.
That's all. It's not about me. It's not about me.
October 2020.
No, it's not about me. But Atiku Rahman and Royden, here's the point. You always
Yes,
say,
I did too with Monojit.
here there are 5 people from the right wing of India on my program. Okay? Tuhin Sinha, Mohandas Pai, M.R. Venkatesh, Savio Rodriguez and Vishnu Shankar Jain. All of them are educated, articulate, right? And they are forthright. And they are not extreme with their views. But they are also not coy about their views. And alongside them, Mohandas Pai, I would put people like my dear friend Sanjeev Sanyal, lawyers like J. Sai Deepak. I would put the contemporary brilliant historian Vikram Sampath, right? So what I'm saying is that there are a lot of people very intellectually capable, professionally qualified, who are on the side of the right wing. You do not have to make Yati or Praveen Togadia the poster boys anymore of the right. That is not even the right. They are wrong. Don't have to take them. Then should I turn around and say that should I lumpanize you on the same side, Abhishek Sudhir, as Zakir Naik? No, I will not do that. So we should be clear about it.
When Anurag
Don't try
says Goli Maro
No, he didn't say. He said goli maro.
What is your view on Anurag?
No. Please. Desh ke gaddaro ko he said. The rest was said by the crowd. Please see the tape. Please see the tape. He did not say that, and don't try to lumpenize. Don't try to lumpenize him either. This is the problem.
What about Kapil Mishra?
No. You are not understanding. You see,
what about Kapil Mishra? Is he not part of the
am I standing up for what Kapil Mishra said or did? I am not. But when I present examples of what happened in Khargon, what has happened recently during Ram Navami celebrations, don't pick up one or two examples on the other side to balance it out. Stop trying to balance it out. Stop trying to balance it. I'm asking.
So what is happening with Muslims in Karnataka, right or wrong? Tell me.
Well, I feel that any attempts to force women to wear the hijab is wrong.
Are you in favor of what's happening to Muslims?
I feel I'll give an answer there. Vishnu Shankar Jain can answer. I feel any attempt to force Muslim women to wear the hijab, to accept triple talaq, to be subjected in the past like to nikah halala, to be exploited is wrong. You want an answer? You want a more definitive answer? Atiku Rahman is on the debate.
What about their traders being attacked? What about Muslim vendors being attacked?
It's bad.
Just tell me about that. Do you approve that?
I am against polygamy. I am against polygamy.
Arnab, may I come in?
Let the Muslim scholars answer it.
I am against polygamy.
Let the Muslim scholars answer this. Are they against polygamy? Do they support polygamy? Let them tell it. Let them say what is their views on polygamy.
Yes, MR, I am answering MR.
Atik is answering you. Atik and Vishnu Shankar Jain are now on the debate live. Yes, Atik, go on.
Let me try.
Yes, please try. Please try.
So, Arnab, the people who are the most intolerant, who killed the father of the nation, they are talking of tolerance.
No, I didn't kill the father of the nation. 1 minute, I'll explain myself to you. When you say these people, here we are. 1 minute. I am here. Okay, Atik? I am here. Let's show ourselves on the screen. I did not kill the father of the nation. Vishnu Shankar Jain did not. Savio Rodriguez was not part of the conspiracy to kill the father of the nation. M.R. Venkatesh is not a trained assassin. Mohandas Pai has been a corporate all his life. I don't see any role of his in killing the father of the nation. And Tuhin Sinha is far too young to have been existing at that time. So why, when you're saying these people who killed the father of the nation, who are you talking about?
Arnab, this guy is morally corrupt, morally deficient, morally corrupt, and an extremist. I don't know why you call people like this to make some specious, silly arguments.
Because I'm tolerant, Mohandas Pai.
I mean, look at his argument. He doesn't have any worthwhile argument to make. So he's talking all this kind of nonsense.
But Mohandas Pai, there is a reason here. Mr. Pai, can I explain this to you? 1 minute. A question is asked to me, and it's often asked to me. This question that Mohandas Pai asks me is often asked to me. Why do you get these people? I'll tell you what. Mohandas Pai, the only slight disagreement I have with you, and I'm afraid to disagree with you because I know you can hit back, but I will still say it at my own peril. My disagreement with you is over the fact that since I'm extremely democratic, I believe in giving people who have a completely different opinion a platform. I do not believe in the cancel culture.
But they should not call us
That's right, Arnab, but
unlike them who don't even allow...
Not make some specious argument.
But they should not call us assassins. That should not be tolerated up.
Arnab,
I should not be called an assassin.
No, you said the people who killed the father of the nation.
Why was Akar Patel stopped from going abroad?
Who?
Why was Amnesty International banned?
Why was Amnesty banned? They must have done something wrong. Are you there? 1 minute. I'll have one person. Savio is responding. 1 minute. Savio is responding. Okay. 1 minute. Savio and Atiku are on the debate.
Fraud.
Can I make a point, Mr. Rahman? Let me make a point. When I wrote an article questioning Archbishop Anil Kuto, I and my family were targeted. There were posters put out on social media demanding for my face to be blackened and rupees 50,000 to be paid. Why? Because I asked Anil Kuto why did he thought the Christians in India were in danger. Today when I joined the BJP, my family continues to be threatened. Why?
Why is
by
it
the
so?
Christian community. My own wife told her that she should leave Savio.
Who cares? Arnab,
who cares? Why don't you care? Why don't you care? Atiku, as a partner, why don't you care that Savio targeted.
Govind Pansare, they were killed. Who killed Gramsteins?
Oh, keep quiet.
Who was burned alive?
Keep quiet.
Along with
If
his
my
two
family
young
is
sons.
threatened for being a part of BJP, I will
Why
bring
should
war
this
to
is
you
intolerance?
people. I will
Look
bring
at
war.
the intolerant behavior of yourself on the
Don't
panel.
threaten my
You are
family
intolerant.
in any
You
form.
are talking of
As a
tolerance.
journalist, it is my right to
Just
question
answer me.
whether it is Father Stan Swami, whether it's Bishop Anil Kuto.
Killed Govind Pansare.
How dare you come towards my family?
Gauri Lankesh.
I will
Was
come
there
after you with
tolerance?
such a war you will never forget.
Come on, don't
You will know
speak.
what intolerance
No,
is.
you have to stop speaking.
When nationalists
Put down
stand up
your
for the
head
country,
and
they are doing their
try to
job.
have some
They're not Islamic
introspection out of
radicals.
your community.
You are an
And
Islamic
you are
radical.
supporting a community.
You are an
wherein
Islamic radical.
Gramstein,
That's why you will
Savio,
never open your mouth
Savio
against Islamic
Gramstein
radical
was burned
work in
alive.
India.
Okay,
Along with his two sons.
Atikor, a question for you. Atikor, do you want to answer a question or do you want to make these finger-wagging lectures out here? Listen to me, Atikor, take a question. Take a question, one sec. Royden Roach is on the question. Royden Roach, people ask me what is intolerance. Example, there's a publishing house called Bloomsbury. There's a book called Delhi Riots, The Untold Story. Okay? Royden Roach, this rejected, dejected lobby, which cannot win a municipality election, it was gloating in the aftermath of bullying Bloomsbury India into recusing from publishing the book on the Delhi riots. 30 minutes before the launch event, claiming the book enables hate. Claiming, allow me, I'm not even asking you, don't be intolerant to me. I'm not among those people who are going to be quiet. I'm among the people who speak back. Bloomsbury had to pull off the book.
Savio was
Bloomsbury had to pull off the book,
was
Royden.
intolerant.
Bloomsbury had to pull off the book. That is called intolerance. Intolerance to free speech. Example 1. Do you want example 2? Royden, do you want example 2? Royden and Vishnu Shankar Jain. Royden.
No, I can give you many more examples, Arnab.
I want to give you.
Let me now tell you something.
Arnab,
When you
can I
talk
respond?
about tolerance and
After this,
intolerant, these
change the
two
shots.
aspects,
Not these.
it not only goes for the BJP, it goes for many other parties. For an example, I have been to an institute where a 16-year-old child asked me, am I going to speak anything about politics to them? Okay, and until I said no to it, I was allowed to speak. Okay, a 16-year-old child. Because why? They do not want the institution to get polluted. With the present situation, let me tell you, I'm not against BJP. BJP, I have one good friend, very good friend, a very good family friend also. Politics is something different and friendship is something different. Now, when we talk about tolerance and intolerance, you tell me which other person from any other party who spoke against a single community, against any people, in any other talks. But you look at the BJP people who goes in, even Tejasvi goes in, he talks about ill-treating others. He talks about other communities. He talks low about other people.
Where?
So institutions, education institutions are not...
Tejasvi went to Rajasthan. He spoke about the attacks on the Hindu community. You're wrong.
Try to understand that when we are talking about tolerance and intolerance, it's not the group of people. The individuals also are there
Wherever he goes,
who do not
this
want
man-
this culture in the institution. And we should respect them because they know exactly.
Arnab, can I
They're
respond?
young buds, they're blooming, and we should not
Arnab,
corrupt
can
it.
I come in?
We don't need to corrupt it. Today we are having a problem with this. Every time a BJP person goes to an institution, he talks about communalism.
Which
That's
one?
the main thing which
No,
we
no,
are
which
facing here
BJP
in this
person?
country.
Which
It is-
BJP
it is
person?
time that we
Arnab,
talk
can I
about
gross
it.
point?
Okay, Mr. Dalmia, Mr. Vishnu Shankar Jain. Let's get Vishnu into the debate. Vishnu is on the debate.
Start talking different
Okay, thank you,
languages.
Royden. Vishnu.
Like on a panelist only who are here.
Vishnu is not
Arnab,
spoken
I
yet.
Well
Yeah.
educated.
Royden,
and
Vishnu.
Pai and all, even Mr. Savio.
Royden, Vishnu.
These
Vishnu
people
has been dying to say
understand
something.
What
Don't
are we
cancel.
trying to look at? What
No,
do
no.
we
Sir, please
want?
allow me to
We
speak.
want
I
the
want
younger
to make an
generation. Why
important
is the
point here.
younger generation self-rejecting them? Why is the younger generation rejecting? As I said, a 16-year-old girl asked me,
Arnab, can I
sir,
respond?
are you come here to talk about politics or any religion? I said, no. Then they allowed me to speak. So this is common going around in the country. The younger generation does not want it. So we have to accept it. And let us not about left, right or secularism. Okay? We should understand that the younger
can you
generation
listen to
does
me
not
now,
want
please?
Okay, thank you, Royden.
happening in the institution.
Thank you, Royden.
So
Your
let us
answer has
respect
nothing
the
to do with my
institution
question
belongs
on
to them.
Bloomsbury not
Yeah,
publishing the book on the
business
Delhi
is-
riots.
We go to talk.
Thank you very much.
Start going.
Thank you very much. Vishnu Shankar Jain, please. Vishnu.
How can they accept it?
Vishnu, thank you. Thank you very much. Producer Delmi. Vishnu, thank you.
Young minds, young children, young generation
Arnab, today I am very pained to hear Mr. Atiku Rahman, and today on your show, Arnab, he has made the same mistake which Rahul Gandhi made in 2016. He said that we all are killers of Gandhi. The same mistake was made by Rahul Gandhi, and his lawyer, Mr. Kapil Sibbal, apologized before the Supreme Court and said that RSS is not the organization who has
one versus one. Atiku, let him finish, please. Atiku and you, but let him finish. Atiku, please wait.
Should apologize in front of you that he has painted all of us with the same brush. And let me ask you, Arnab, where was when we were not intolerant when Sachar committee was implemented? We were not intolerant when Mr. Manmohan Singh said that the first right on the resources of this country of Muslims. We were not intolerant when Sonia Gandhi cried in Batla House. We were not intolerant when Mulayam Singh Yadav and Akhilesh Yadav were releasing terrorists. We were not intolerant when Kar Sevak were butchered by Mulayam Singh Yadav. We were not intolerant, Arnab, when we waited for 500 years for Ram Mandir. We were not intolerant when Kashmiri Pandits were butchered and
do you know why they shot the Kar
sisters were raped in Kashmir.
Because 2 years later you all brought down the mosque. 2 years later you all brought down the mosque.
Arnab,
you all are a bunch of vandals, you're a bunch of rioters, you're a bunch of thugs.
Allow me to speak. I have not interfered.
So don't think
Arnab,
you're some intellectual.
Arnab, we were not intolerant. Arnab, we were not.
You're a bunch of thugs. Why did you bring down the mosque?
Arnab, when there was a gang in Delhi who was saying that there is judicial killing and they were accusing judges of killing. Then we were not intolerant. Arnab, we were not intolerant when for hijab, the judgment given by the judges, they have to take by security for giving a judgment on hijab. Then we were not intolerant. And today my friend is saying that why did we bring out the mosque? Then where is the fighting for the mosque? Supreme Court has said that it was not a mosque. How can you say that we brought down a mosque? It was a disputed structure which was brought down, and today everyone is acquitted. But then also, you are not ready to admit that judgment. This is the height of intolerance. This is the point. Who said it was a mosque? Where was it? In which mosque? There are idols of Hindu Devi Devtas. Tell me. Tell me what mosque. Arnab, we are intolerant when in Qutub Minar, right in front of your eyes, there is a board of ASI that this minaret has been constituted after demolishing 27 Jain and Hindu temples. And then we go with our children and see that Qutub Minar and Quwwatul Islam mosque right in front of Delhi. Then we are intolerant. That's the point. Arnab, let me ask
shows the level of your tolerance.
Arnab, I want to ask a question to my friend who is speaking here. Have you seen
Monojit, listen to the question. Monojit, listen to the question. They're heckling right now. You are seeing a live example of heckling going on. And I want to ask you in the course of this debate, which side has heckled the other? Which side has heckled the other? You can watch it for yourself and understand who believes in the cancel culture. For 1 minute, I want to make a point. Your problem. Vishnu, they provoked you. Vishnu, they are provoking you. This is the usual tactic. I'm warning you. Believe me, I'll tell you what happens. Mohandas Pai knows it. If you can allow me, I've anchored so many debates. What they do is they listen to you and then they realize at one point that your argument is too detailed, too straightforward, too good, too incisive. They know they will not be able to give an equally fitting intellectual response. At some point of time, they get scared of the next point they will have to face, and therefore what they want to do is like kindergarten children, they want to speak over you, then shout and scream in ones and twos and threes and fours, till eventually they believe that they have shut you down. But Mohandas Pai, we must not be shut down. We must not be stymied. We must not be stopped. And we do not believe in clashes, but we must respond with equal intellectual vigor. My point tonight is this. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a moment. The problem is, Mohandas Pai, with these people, one is of intellectual inferiority complex. Second point is they know that those people they call the right wing are actually the most inclusive people. And they are the most Stalinist, exclusivist people. Let me explain to you why I am saying so. Yesterday, there's no point laughing, Abhisheks, Sudhir, when I'm going to elucidate my point with very strong and convincing examples. In fact, I would be happy to provide you a free education.
Pragya Thakur is an inclusive person?
I would be happy. I think Pragya Thakur was tortured by people with affiliations to the political dispensation that you are close to, Who tortured Pragya
Oh my
Thakur?
God!
I am not here to
Are
discuss
you now
Pragya
attacking
Thakur.
Hemant Karkare?
Now my question
you, Arnab Goswami.
My question is this, and I know my name.
You, Arnab Goswami of
my
all
question
people.
is this: that on the case yesterday morning, I saw Mohandas.
You're attacking Hemant
The problem
Karkare
of
on
the
live
so-called
television.
left libs is that their narrative about the right does not match the reality. And what is the fact? My contention is, Mohandas Pai, that those you call the right wing are actually the most accommodative, expansive, inclusive people. Example number one, Mohandas Pai. And Abhishek, listen to me, I'm coming to you to him. Yesterday, the Prime Minister inaugurated the Prime Minister's PM Sangrahalaya, which looked at all the good work that was done by all Prime Ministers of India, and he said all the Prime Ministers worked hard and contributed to where India is. I have never seen a more inclusive spirit, Mohandas Pai, never. When Mohan Bhagwat sits there and they try to vilify him, but he is saying nation first, nation supreme. He's having meetings with Muslim intellectuals. They don't like it. Modi government, they rolled out more minority scholarships than under UPA, so that more Muslim children, more minority children get scholarships to go to school and college.
Nehru was a great
That's
Prime
inclusive.
Minister.
More jobs, 10% more jobs. 10% of incremental jobs are going to minorities.
So my point,
Muslim,
Mohandas Pai, to you is,
2014.
my point, Mohandas Pai, is that
Where are you getting this statistic from?
my point is that the right wing is actually more inclusive. Where are you getting the statistic from is a counter question put to you. Please, out of respect, if nothing else, don't heckle Mohandas Pai also. But can I get a response from you? Don't mind. Mohandas Pai, I say this, that does the lobby have a problem with the fact that the right wing wants to reverse, for example, the exclusion of great Hindu kings like Krishna Devaraya, right? Rajaraja Chola I, and the political insights of the Arthashastra. The lobby tried to keep this out of the mainstream syllabus for a very long time. We want to correct the wrongs, but we are also inclusive.
What is this lobby you speak of? That's another thing.
People understand.
What is this lobby?
People understand.
Isn't this intolerant?
I'm getting an answer from Mohandas Pai, please. Mohandas
Isn't
Pai.
this intolerance?
On the larger point of inclusion.
People
Mohandas Pai's turn, please.
with a label.
Mr. Mohandas Pai.
Arnab, we want a country where multiple streams of reason are available, multiple viewpoints are available, so that the viewers and students in universities can decide for themselves. We don't want a shut system dominated by the left fascists and totalitarian people who will shut everybody out. We want students to listen to multiple views and let them decide for themselves. That is true liberalism. That is what we want in the universities. We don't want it to be dominated by one ideology, by one kind of people who go and talk the same nonsense again and again, and who make sure that India comes down everywhere. Let students get reason from all four corners of the world. Let them analyze, let them think, let them decide for themselves, and whatever they say is fine. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in individual freedom, we believe in freedom of expression, we believe in our courts, and that's what we say. We are not like the JNU left, or the AMU left, or the left of the Jamia Millia, who always try to shut everybody out, and who always try to bring India down in every known event. We are proud of our country, we are patriotic, we are nationalists, we love our country, we want to take our country forward, and we respect everybody's views. But we don't like fake arguments, and we will expose all these people. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Monachit, you also need to understand that you also, and your side also, needs to start becoming a little more inclusive.
I want to respond.
If I tell you that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Maharana Pratap's inclusion or greater representation in the history of India is not communal, it is necessary, right? How is it intolerant, for example, Professor, you are a lawyer, a professor, how the Bhakti Period devotional compositions was replaced. The Bhakti Period devotional contributions was replaced by emphasis on Mughal chronology. You only want Mughal history in this country. You don't believe there was any history before, after, or besides the Mughals in this country.
Talk of the present.
Mughal dynasty and Nehru dynasty, only two dynasties.
No. Okay, I'm talking about the past, he says. Okay, Atiku and Tuin. He says I'm talking about the past.
Okay, let me talk about.
No, he's saying I'm talking about the past. Atiku and Toin, listen to each other.
Atiku, let me talk about the present with you.
Let's talk about the present.
Let me talk about the present with you.
No,
Okay, fine.
No, yes. Let's talk about the present.
You have to answer my question first.
Give me 60 seconds.
You have to answer
on
my question
27th
first.
March. On 27th March, a 25-year-old person called Babar Ali was brutally killed in Kushinagar for supporting Yogi Adityanath. Was that intolerance or no? Atiku, was that intolerance or no? Did you condemn it? You did not condemn it because you are intolerant itself.
Yes.
Lavanya, a 16-year-old girl.
Let him complete. Atiku, let him complete. He's on a good point. Toin is on a solid point tonight.
Lavanya, a 16-year-old girl in Tamil Nadu, committed suicide because she was being persuaded by predatory proselytization agents. Did you condemn it? Did anybody from your lobby condemn it? Did the Congress party condemn it? Did the left parties condemn it? They did not. That is intolerance. Shivam, a 16-year-old boy, is still battling for his life, and he was brutally injured. He was attacked in Khargone during the procession, Ramnavami procession. Did you condemn the attack on him? Did the lobby condemn the attack on him? Did the Congress party condemn the attack on him? Did the left parties condemn? Because you support intolerance. Please accept it. This intolerance is patronized and supported by you and your bosses.
Fringes, your rioters had stoned Shivam. Your own people. And
no,
to evade the evidence,
you should hear his brother.
The JCB.
You should hear his brother. His brother.
Okay,
somebody
now
who's
listen
battling
to me.
for his life. His brother cannot be lying.
Okay, now listen
First,
to me.
on your show, on this show, will you condemn the killing of Babar Ali?
Are you in a position
will you
to
condemn
answer
the killing of Babar Ali for supporting Yogi Adityanath? Have you condemned yet? Why haven't you condemned yet? Will you condemn the killing of Babar Ali? Why have you not condemned it yet? That is my point.
Let me show the hypocrisy a little bit more. 1 minute. I'll give one example of hypocrisy a little bit more. Atiku, don't worry, I won't embarrass you more. I don't believe in this. See, M.R. Venkatesh, I'll give you an example. This lobby, they talk about tolerance. Now, I hope you're not getting tired, Atiku, Monojit, Abhishek, not getting tired, no, because I've come armed with so many facts, so many arguments. It seems that you want to run away from my debate. Do you want to run away, or are you willing to weather it out? Who's winning the debate, ladies and gentlemen? Watch my debate right now, and you put out a live poll right now. Who's winning the debate? My next question.
But you are not allowing, you are being intolerant to our arguments. You are just putting your own arguments.
My arguments.
That's the whole problem.
My arguments are sensational.
You are not ready to listen to
who is winning the debate.
You are not ready to listen to reason.
You know, listen. I'll tell you one thing. There is a terrorist called Varavara Rao. Mao is terrorist. Abhishek, you support him.
No,
you support
he's not a terrorist. No,
when Colonel,
sorry, Varavara Rao is not a terrorist. No, objection, sir, objection. Varavara Rao.
Yeah, Varavara Rao is not a terrorist, and Nelson Mandela was a war criminal.
Objection, sir.
M.R. Venkatesh on the debate. M.R.
Arnab, he is an AGMAC certified terrorist, so let us not hold any apology for him. Let Mr. Atiku Rahman not hold a brief for him. And I know, Atiku, that you love him because he is also of your same ilk. Because you also support the same type of violence. You also love violence.
Is not a terrorist.
Now, please ask I'll ask you this question. I'll ask you one question.
Take your words back.
I will ask you one question. Atiku, tell me. Tell me, I know I want to ask you a question. You have answered my question on polygamy. Now you answer me. Am I a kafir? Am I a kafir? You tell me, am I a kafir, and what is the prescription in Quran for kafir?
No,
you please tell me.
The only kafirs were in
No, who is a kafir?
They were
Who is a kafir?
No, you are not a kafir, my friend.
No, tell me who is the kafir. That is not your view. That is the view of Tablighi school. That is the school of the Ethiopian. That is the view that is held by your great prophet, your great people, your great teacher, your great mullah. Then that is the problem. Then you don't understand Islam. But we have allowed it for centuries to say that people in this country are kafirs. People have to be exterminated.
Example. Next example. Atiku, give you an example. Hypocrisy. No, you answered your own question. Hypocrisy, thy name is the left libs. Hypocrisy, thy name is the left libs. They condemn the arrest of Umar Khalid Savio. but they will not speak one word about the murder of Harsha. How many more examples do they want? Huh? You promote a film, S. Durga, right? When some people have a problem about it, is it not true that the tolerance of the lobby is limited to propagating narratives of their own agenda? They support films like S. Durga, saying how a controversy around it is spun by the center to silence alternative cinema, but they go all out to discredit the Kashmir files. Even right now, the reference to the Kashmir files is making Abhisheks Sudhir, cringe. Even right now, he can't accept it. I'm telling you, Tuhin, they can't accept it even now. The thought of the Delhi files is making them feel worse. They're going to be sick.
I haven't even watched Kashmir files.
Yeah. You should. They say the urban Naxals are sensible people.
What Delhi
but they call General G.D. Bakshi a foul-mouthed bigot. They call a soldier, a hero, and a scholar like G.D. Bakshi, they call him a Mohandas Pai, a foul-mouthed bigot.
They have been ridiculing our external affairs minister for showing the US its place 2 days ago.
Can I ask you,
For pointing out
why do you live for the
human rights
approval of the
violations do take place in the US? They have been ridiculing our external affairs minister for taking
Why do you live
taking
for
a
the
pro-India
approval of
stand.
We don't. Arnab.
Yeah.
Why does our approval matter to you all so much?
I'll tell you a funny incident, Arnab.
Why does our approval matter to you all so much?
Arnab,
Why do you
I'll tell
care
you a
what
funny
we
incident.
think? Why do you care what liberals think?
Who wants your approval from me? Are you an ISO certificate or what? Who wants your approval?
View.
Are you a regulatory authority? Who wants your approval?
Wait, ignore us.
I wrote an article on Father Stan Swami based on the NIA investigation.
No, we don't want to ignore. We want to expose. We want to expose. We want to confront. We want to correct. We don't want to ignore. If we ignore you, you will continue. You will continue your own way. We want to expose you. We want to take you on.
So you accept that we are a threat to you all.
It's not a threat.
We are a threat to your way of thinking.
Emma, are they a threat? Are they a threat?
We offer a different alternative.
Emma.
Arnab, what do you mean? Yes, you are a physical threat, not an intellectual threat. Let me be very clear. You people believe in violence, so we have to be careful about you, no doubt about that. But intellectually, you are no match for us. That is why we don't care about you. And that is why we don't bother about you. But we need to expose and tell the people that, look, here are a set of people who believe in violence, not in intellectual rhetoricism. And they can't retort because they don't have the intellectual firepower. And for long, you have been masquerading as intellectuals in this country. For long, you have been holding the institutions to ransom. For all that you care, you have said that you have branded yourself as intellectuals. You have held on to these spaces. Now that people are challenging in every single domain, be it in the media, be it in the politics, be it in economics, be it in history, be it in every single
on TV and how.
Be it every discipline, people are getting challenged and we need to expose you. Expose your hollowness.
On every single debate,
to the country,
you spread
the unity and integrity of this country.
communal narrative.
We will do that.
That's what the level of intolerance you practice.
No, the level of...
Every single TV debate.
I never knew that you have become a spokesperson for the communists. Shame on you. You have become a spokesperson, a cheerleader for communists.
I am not.
You are talking
my
the language of the communists.
Mr. Venkatesh, I am not. I am equally condemning the right-wing intolerance as I am condemning the left-wing intolerance, of which I am a victim, I tell you. I am a victim of left intolerance.
Communist.
Left level of fascism, but equally condemnable is right-wing intolerance.
Genetically modified left.
Both, I think, complement each other. The left and the right, they complement each other as far as their intolerance level is concerned.
It is there in the YouTube. Every time you have seen this. Mamta ji never cares to answer a question. And she has threatened people in the media. And you come and tell us about tolerance.
Sir, you are talking about an inclusive country. Let me...
I am talking about Mamta.
What was the Prime Minister trying to say when he was saying, "Kapda dekh ke pata chal jati hai, in log kaun hai"? Forget about these intellectuals, these writers. The Prime Minister of this country says, "Kapda dekh ke pata chal jata hai, ye kaun hai."
Let Tuhin respond to that reference to the Prime Minister and the BJP spokesperson take that. Yes, thank you, Tuhin.
This is suggested by
I think the Prime Minister
is responding to you on it right now, Tuhin.
Well, you are...
Thank you. Two in.
Excluding
I think the Prime Minister has shown exceptional clarity in saying that.
You practice.
Who were the people who led the fake anti-CA protest? Arnab, on your show, Arnab, on your show, I had called Shaheen Bagh a toxic winter festival. Now, do I need to tell you who those people were? The Prime Minister has shown exceptional clarity.
We pity
The
you,
Prime
the
Minister has shown exceptional clarity in that statement.
Says what
Please
he says.
don't. It was not a communal statement. It was not a communal statement, but everybody knows that there was a certain set of jihadis who were at the forefront of the fake anti-CA protest. The Shaheen Bagh was the start of it, and the Honorable Prime Minister was rather graceful in that statement.
I want Abhishek and Vishnu back on the debate. I want Abhishek and Vishnu back on the debate. We're entering an interesting turn of the debate. You know, recently, we saw all these Khalistanis. You're a lawyer in the Supreme Court. We saw all the Khalistanis, Vishnu, make calls from Canada through VoIP calls, etc., threatening Supreme Court lawyers and even judges, right? I have never seen this level of organized physical threat, attack threats on Supreme Court judges and Supreme Court jurists as happened in that case. Did any one of these people protest, those who call for tolerance? I mean, when the members, highest members of the bar and the highest members of the judiciary are being physically targeted by these Khalistanis, was there an organized protest? Was there an No, there wasn't. There wasn't a whimper or a word. It was part of an attempt to put pressure on the judicial system of the country. Those who interpret the Constitution were under attack, but was there a word? Was there a word, Vishnu, from them? There wasn't. Don't cover it up now by saying, yes, there was, and you didn't listen. The fact is that there wasn't. There was not a whimper at that point of time. Vishnu, was there a whimper? Was there a protest at that time?
No. Arnab,
I am telling you, I condemned it on your channel.
Asked this question.
I am telling you,
we had debated it on your channel.
Sir, y'all are emboldening the Khalistanis.
Y'all want the Khalistanis. Please allow me to make my point.
That way, you can say that they are the enemy, and you can suppress everybody. You can suppress anyone who has a contrary point of view.
Sir, please allow others to speak. Please have a little bit of tolerance.
Lobbyist, tukde gang. You just want to make enemies out of people who disagree with you. That's your game.
No, I don't want to. You got it wrong.
Arnab,
Abhishek, let me tell you.
On your channel, we were having a debate.
That is the game.
Vishnu is speaking. Vishnu is saying something. We spoke to Vishnu, he's responding to you. Yeah, Vishnu.
There was one lawyer who spoke on your channel, Mr. Ehtesham Hashmi. And what did he say? He said that only BJP supported lawyers have got threat calls. Entire judicial fraternity, Arnab, that day was shocked by that statement, because it's a matter of record that all the lawyers advocate on records of the Supreme Court had received threat calls from Khalistani groups, and we had filed complaint before the Delhi Police Special Cell. But Ehtesham Hashmi had the guts to come on your channel and say that only pro-BJP lawyers have got this threat call. No condemnation.
Does Ehtesham Hashmi
there was
speak
not
for
even
all
a
of us?
single condemnation
Is
by any
Ehtesham
liberal.
And the spokesperson of everybody who disagrees with your toxic ideology.
Sir, please.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Sir, you can say my ideology is toxic. I can say that your ideology is toxic. I am not ashamed of myself. I am very proud of myself. And please,
from another belonging to another religion. Yes, it wasn't a mosque, so we could demolish it.
Please, I have not said that. It was a disputed structure. It was a disputed structure, and it had never had any characteristics of mosque. And tell me which mosque in the country.
So you just go and
which mosque in the country have Hanuman idols inside the mosque?
It is a disputed structure, so any disputed structure can be destroyed, is it?
So then why no one was convicted? So why no one was convicted?
Why are you burning about the Ayodhya
verdict? You can't shout over me.
No, this is a very... Why I find here a great unease. Just one minute. I find here, Vishnu, MR, a great Savio. Even today, there is a great sense of unease about the Ayodhya verdict. Are you seeing that in the voice?
Yes.
In the reaction?
Right in front of you.
But it is a Supreme Court verdict. They will have to accept it, Savio.
Of course, there is unease.
Unease and dissatisfaction.
You people make all us Hindus look bad. You are tainting Hinduism with your toxic ideology, which has nothing to do with Hinduism. All Hindus are not intolerant. You all are intolerant.
I can't.
That is the fact of the matter. No, he says he's feeling unease.
I don't need lessons in morality from you.
Nobody can give you lectures on morality. It is impossible. You are unformatted hard disk. Please listen to this. You are guys who will only pamper to uneases so that you are feeling unease about it. So one more thing, Arnab. These guys feel so petrified about that.
I am uneasy about destroying structures.
Yes, we will destroy those structures which have no value. Please understand this. We have to build a nation. We will not allow this nation to be in the hands of these type of family students.
With no value.
Yes, we will.
Mr. Goswami, you're going to let this go unchecked?
Yes. Yes, we will do that repeatedly. We will do that repeatedly on the show that any undisputed structure will be demolished.
Is this the editorial view of Republic?
That I don't care about the views of anybody else
outlier media.
Please understand.
Mosques have no value and they should be destroyed.
Yes, undisputed structures can be removed.
Editorial view of
we will
Republic
remove the Samajwadi Party also. Please understand.
On live TV that
I'll say this MR, usually I don't respond, but in this case I will. Abhishek, Sudhir, by that measure, everything that you have said is also not my editorial view. Anything our panelist says is not my editorial view. My editorial view is what comes out through my lungs, through my esophagus, through my mouth, into my verbalized statements. I hope it is clear to you. Now my next question is this. But I still believe in having an open debate. My question is this. On the 15th of August, Savio, a very important thing happened in the world. The Taliban took over Afghanistan and walked into Kabul. But what did this insecure, toxic group do? They started talking about dismantling Hindutva. Because they didn't want to talk about what the Taliban was doing. It was embarrassing them. Why? Why do you associate with the Taliban? Forget intolerance. I'm saying you're downright destructive. These are only a few examples. There was a destructive agenda to dismantle Hindutva. Why? You don't agree with Hindutva. Why do you have to dismantle it? Did you get a contract to dismantle it? Monojit? Did you? What is your interest? You don't agree with something. What is the need to dismantle it?
The problem is these people. The problem with these people, Arnab, is that they don't understand the idea of India. India today, the new India, is about a united India. It does not care about religious divide. What it's looking at is growing. What it's looking at is growing stronger as one nation. It is not looking at a religious divide. The religious divide is forced by Islamic radicals like Atiku Rahman, by political parties like the Congress who want to continue to stir the communal divide.
Do you have a word to say on the attack on churches in Karnataka?
Do
you have a word to say on the attack on churches in Karnataka?
Why should this be about religion?
I as a Hindu will stand up for my Christian brothers.
Indians.
You as a Christian choose to do the bidding of these fascists.
Why should we be targeted? Today a Muslim joining the BJP.
I went to a Christian school. I went to a Christian school. I'm proud I went to a Christian school. I will stand for my Christian brothers and sisters. That is the idea of India.
This is about
that is the idea of India. We don't need lessons in the idea of India from Sanghi stooges like you who have sold out their own community for power.
Who laughs at people like you. Because they are united.
Yeah,
because
you sold your own community down the drain. You sold your own community down the drain. You have allied with Satan. You have made an alliance with Satan. You have made a pact with Satan. All right.
Okay, so you know the record on riots. The record on riots.
You made a pact with these Satanists.
You cannot tolerate
and what is progressive about what is Abhishek 1 minute. Abhishek 1 minute. Royden. What is progressive about the pseudos? What is progressive about Tuhin? What is progressive about these so-called activists, intellectual academicians, lawyers, and professional protesters? What is progressive about them? 1 minute.
Let me. I want to make an important point to this guy who is pontificating over here. Let me just, this guy who was pontificating about him studying in a Christian school. I have studied in a Christian missionary school for 13 years. I'm still in touch with the father principal over there, and I get invited to talk to the students over here. So please don't pontificate about you studying in a Christian school. I'm sure, Arnab, you have studied in that. It has nothing to do. The kind of intolerance which these people are trying to project on your show is a figment of their imagination. And this needs to be called out on your show.
Guys,
even any sensible Christian does Savio not believe that BJP is the natural party of governance today? To demonize BJP in this way 24/7, only a very corrupt mind can do that.
To even see such educated people also getting involved with this nonsense. Yeah, when we talk about tolerance and intolerance, what are we looking at?
No, so I'm asking you today, did you
look at what's happening.
Condemn what Lavanya had gone through for a year before she committed suicide? Did you do that? Your selective condemnation of intolerant acts is what makes you intolerant of the highest level.
When you go to any place to talk, you only talk violence, you try to degrade other communities.
Today I think you're just talking out of your mind.
You try to create.
Have you heard my speeches? Have you heard the speeches of Rajnath?
Okay, one minute. Thank you, Royden. Thank you, Royden. I go back to Monojit Mandal. I'll get Monojit and MR on the debate. I have a few questions. We talk about tolerance, intolerance. What is tolerant about batting vociferously for the hijab? Tell me. When political parties, right? They are batting vociferously for the hijab, and a Congress leader goes on to say that the rape rate is the highest in India because women don't wear the hijab. What is tolerant about that? What is progressive about that? When for example the Congress says, other parties say, I don't know about your view, there is no need to criminalize triple talaq. Women should be divorced by somebody saying talaq, talaq, talaq. What is progressive about that? Tell me. Why are you looking confused today, Monojit? You're not being able to argue. Why? You don't have the facts?
No. Let me tell you, I can't certainly take responsibility for the Congress party. But I am clear on this, the triple talaq abolition was good for this country. Right? And as far as the hijab is concerned, make the Muslim, they take their own decision. The only question is, it is their personal choice. Let them take their own decision. You cannot mandate it by law. That's the point. Let me speak now.
Okay, Sudhir,
what is your level of tolerance?
MR, let him speak. Let him speak. You stick down on the debate. MR, let him speak. MR, let him complete. Thank you. Enjoying this here.
The only thing is that let them take their own decision as to what kind of dress they want to wear. But you are making it mandated by law. There lies the problem.
No. It has to be mandated.
The problem lies in the fact that you are compelling them to wear a certain kind of dresses.
That
is simply not done. Whether it is hijab or any kind of dresses, by law you cannot make it. That's what they're
Monojit, keep it short.
It's the question of personal choice.
Monojit, listen, you talk about personal choice, I give you one.
But even, yes.
No, you're talking about personal choice, I'll tell you one. See, my point is, all you people, like Savio is there on the debate, let's get Savio back. Savio, these people have projected themselves as intellectual, progressive, inclusive, secular, good, everybody else is bad, communal, right-wing, etc. But proof of the pudding is in the eating. When there is a very cosmopolitan progressive legislation to raise the marriage age of girls to 21. Okay, Sudhir, come to the debate and don't shout. Let's argue reasonably like reasonable people. Okay, talking reasonably to each other. At that point of time, these people run articles saying, instead of raising the women's marriage age, here are 6 things India should do to curb child marriage. They try to argue about how, quote, the proposed legislation to raise the legal marriage age for girls to 21 years can have several harmful consequences. What harmful? Why should you force, women to marry 3 years earlier, or the legal age of marriage for women to be 3 years less than that of men? Why? These people who call for equality, gender rights, they have a completely different approach at that point of time. Why? Explain. So Savio, do you understand the point I'm making, Savio?
Akhilesh Yadav supported this proposed legislation.
Savio?
Correct.
Mr. Yadav supported this proposed legislation. He said if the marriage age is to be raised to 21, and
the most important thing, Arnab,
debate on this topic,
anything that is progressive, anything that is futuristic for India, anything that works towards upliftment of women or men or youth in India, which is progressive, which is futuristic, is what is looked at by these people as being regressive. And that's why they get intolerant
to deny Muslim girls the right to education?
That's why there
is it futuristic to deny them the right to education?
That's why there is the rejection to the 21-year
Why
age of
are
women?
you putting them in a position where they have to choose between their religion and education?
Empowerment, growing ahead is a problem to
the
these
state
people
exams,
because they
the
are
SSLC and PUC exams in Karnataka are coming up in 2 weeks. And these girls have made an appeal to the BJP, allow us to write the exams.
In India.
Why can't you allow them to write the exams?
They don't
Why are you denying them their right to
people
education?
to evolve. They don't want women to be empowered. They don't want the youth to be empowered. They want to continue to have slaves. That's why they are intolerant. That's why they are intolerant.
Their right to
the
education,
problem is
they
assume that they have the right way forward. They have a slavish mentality to take people forward. That's exactly why they continue to have a leader who's incompetent, like Rahul Gandhi.
Stop speaking.
They cannot find
in
a decent leader
terms.
in their ranks.
Speak
That's
about
the
the
problem.
specifics.
The problem
do you support?
is that
do
they
you
don't
support
want
them
people to
that
evolve.
nuns being told they can't cover their heads?
To be empowered.
Do you support
they
nuns being told they can't cover their heads?
Educated. They don't want youth to
Do
rise
you support
up. They want
nuns being
India
told they
to
can't
continue
cover their
to
heads?
be
Answer to the
with a
question,
backward,
Abhishek.
going to different countries,
Abhishek, can you? I request you.
No,
I request
Mr.
you,
Goswami,
at this stage of the debate, when you are already losing the debate, for you to make a point which will be self-destructive to any chance you had of winning the debate, you say, why are nuns covering their heads? The answer is this. The answer is this. The answer to win is this. The nuns are not in school.
Correct.
The nuns are not class 5, 6, 7 students. What are you saying?
Can I ask him?
The nuns are.
Tuin is responding right now in the debate. Tuin.
I have two very pointed questions for this hardcore fan of Akhilesh Yadav. Number one, Shafiqur Rahman Burk, sitting member of parliament of Samajwadi Party when Taliban took over Afghanistan. You know, he was the first person to embrace the Taliban takeover. Did he condemn? Did the supporter of Akhilesh Yadav condemn him?
Answer my question.
T.A. Hassan.
Why won't you allow
T.A.
Muslim
Hassan,
girls
when the
their right
COVID
to
second
education?
wave was at its peak, you know what he said?
Why won't you allow
because
them their
India
right
does
to
not have
education?
Sharia laws, India suffers in this manner. Did anybody
here we go.
condemn him? You answer my question. If you are here to selectively cherry pick facts, I have
Mr.
enough
Akhilesh
facts
Yadav
to
condemned
show.
him.
No, he did not.
Listen to me.
He
I
did
heard your
not.
question. Now listen to the
He
answer.
did not.
Listen to the answer. Listen to the answer. I know you're
If
one of
you
the
have,
few
go
BJP
ahead.
spokespersons who can speak English, but that doesn't mean you have
What
to
was
go
that
on and
comment?
on.
No, what was that
All
comment?
right,
What was that comment? You heard that
pathetic,
comment? You're one of the few BJP spokespersons who can speak English. Oh, okay. So what was that comment? Let's get an explanation. MR, what did he mean by that? What did he mean by that? What did he mean by that?
Pathetic mindset.
What a mindset.
You just want a controversy, don't you?
No. What did he say?
Controversy.
Savio, you heard that comment?
You love this.
What the hell is
That is also intolerance, ladies and gentlemen. That is intolerance. That is intolerance.
This is the definition.
Amit Shah said everyone should speak Hindi. You're okay with that?
No. What did you mean by saying you're the only BJP spokesperson who can speak English?
Everyone should speak English.
No. What is it? You need a certain what? You decide a political background, family background to speak English. What?
I stated a fact.
Your sense of entitlement is so visible.
No. What is the statement? What did you say?
I stated a fact.
Explain the statement. Explain it. Savio, let's get him to explain it. What did you mean by saying you're the only? You're one of the few BJP spokespersons who can
BJP
yeah, what do you mean?
Not attract educated people to their fold.
Disgusting to
That
say
is the
that.
problem.
You know, the
That is the
perverse
reason
sense of
when you go to Lady Shri Ram College or
language is
JNU,
so evident on your show.
It reflects a lot, ladies and gentlemen, I think. What he just said.
Have you seen the
Come back on the debate. Come back on the debate. The debate is on intolerance right now. What you just said reflects your intolerance, Abhishek Sudhir. Now Tuin should be allowed to continue his statement in English, Hindi or any language that he chooses right now on the program. Tuin.
Reflects my intellectual superiority.
इन्होंने सहनशीलता इनकी कितनी कम है ये आपके शो पर इन्होंने प्रमाणित कर दी है. इससे ज्यादा मुझे बोलने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है.
अच्छा, आपको क्या लगता है कि मुझे हिंदी समझ में नहीं आती है? अरे भाई साहब, हम रिपब्लिक भारत में भी बहस करते हैं, हमको हिंदी आती है, हमको अंग्रेजी आती है, हम कन्नड़ा बोलते हैं, हम तमिल बोल सकते हैं, हम तेलुगु समझ सकते हैं। आपको तो एक ही भाषा आती है, हम क्या करें? आपके गृह मंत्री कहते हैं कि नहीं, सबको हिंदी बोलना है।
सोच करप्ट है।
अरे आपके गृह मंत्री कहते हैं कि सबको हिंदी बोलना है भाई।
Your thought is corrupt. The sense of entitlement that you have shown by making that obnoxious comment, that needs to be called out, and I'm so glad Arnab has rightly called it out. The sense of entitlement should not exist in an educated society. But unfortunately, by showing that sense of entitlement, you have shown your intolerance.
ಕನ್ನಡಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಶಬ್ದ ಬರುತ್ತೇನೋ ನಿನಗೆ? ಕನ್ನಡ ನಿನಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತಾ? ನಾನು
He's covering up,
Arnab is covering up by speaking Kannada. I can speak in Tamil and you can speak in Assamese. This is not the issue. The issue is tolerance and trying to show that is trying to put down people who are not here. And unfortunately, it's condemnable, reprehensible. And I'm sorry to say, he has hit a new low, and that low is even low as far as Abhishek is concerned. He is always in the low. He can speak many languages, but not the truth.
Yeah.
That is his problem.
Yeah, I end by saying that, you know, the way the left libs have been behaving, their toxic approach, their growing intolerance, you know, the threat and execution of physical violence is putting them in very poor light. Very poor light. In a progressive country, they should learn how to be inclusive from those who they say are on the right. And that's all on the Weekend Debate. I shall see you on Monday at 9 p.m. Till then, good night and goodbye.